In a quiet town, an old, abandoned house stood at the end of a narrow lane. Locals whispered tales of its former inhabitants, a family that vanished without a trace one stormy night. Driven by curiosity, a group of friends decided to explore the house, hoping to unravel its dark secrets. As they entered, the air grew thick, and shadows danced on the walls. They found old photographs, dust-covered furniture, and a chilling silence that pressed in on them. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the room, slamming the door shut. Panic set in as they tried to leave, but the door wouldn't budge. While searching for another exit, they stumbled upon a hidden staircase leading to a damp cellar. The flickering flashlight illuminated strange symbols etched into the stone walls. One friend, drawn by a compulsion, reached out to touch them. Instantly, a low whisper filled the air, echoing their names, chilling them to the bone. They turned to leave, but the cellar filled with an oppressive darkness, and the whispers grew louder, pleading for release. Desperate, they tried to retrace their steps, but the shadows seemed to stretch and twist, blocking their way. One by one, they felt a cold grip pulling them into the darkness, their screams swallowed by the walls. In the end, only one friend escaped, stumbling out into the rain, gasping for breath. But as they looked back, they realized the house stood silent again, as if nothing had happened. The whispers faded, leaving only the echo of their laughter, a reminder of those who never returned. The ultimate horror lay in knowing that the house was waiting, always hungry for new souls. In a small, forgotten town, a dilapidated motel loomed on the outskirts, known only for its haunting past. Years ago, a series of unexplained disappearances occurred, each linked to Room 7. Locals avoided the place, claiming it was cursed, but one curious traveler, Emma, was drawn to the mystery. One stormy night, she checked in, feeling an inexplicable pull toward Room 7. As she entered, the air grew cold, and an unsettling silence enveloped her. Old photographs of past guests lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow her. Emma felt a chill run down her spine but dismissed it as nerves. As the clock struck midnight, she heard soft whispers emanating from the bathroom. Intrigued, she approached and found the mirror fogged up, with words slowly appearing, "Help us." Startled, she stepped back, heart racing. The whispers grew louder, pleading for release. Determined to uncover the truth, Emma searched the room, finding a hidden journal beneath the bed. The entries were frantic, detailing the lives of those who had vanished, all expressing a desperate need to escape the motel's grasp. She realized they were trapped, their souls unable to move on. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the temperature dropped. Shadows twisted around her, forming into dark figures. Panic surged as she tried to flee, but the door slammed shut, locking her inside. The whispers transformed into anguished cries, urging her to join them. In a final act of desperation, Emma recalled a passage from the journal about a ritual to free the spirits. Gathering her courage, she lit a candle and recited the words. As she spoke, the shadows writhed violently, the room shaking. The air thickened with energy, and a blinding light erupted. When the light faded, Emma found herself alone in the room, the oppressive darkness lifted. The air felt lighter, and a sense of peace filled the space. She rushed to the door, which opened effortlessly. As she stepped outside, dawn broke, casting a warm glow over the motel. But as she walked away, she glanced back one last time. In the window of Room 7, a figure stood, watching her with hollow eyes, a final reminder that not all spirits had been freed. Emma's heart raced as she realized the ultimate truth: some stories never truly end. In a secluded village, nestled between dense woods, stood an old, crumbling church known for its eerie legends. Locals claimed it was a gateway to another realm, where restless spirits lingered. One night, a skeptic named Mark, tired of ghost stories, decided to explore the church and debunk the myths. As he entered, the heavy wooden door creaked ominously behind him. The air was thick with dust, and moonlight barely penetrated the stained glass windows. Mark's flashlight flickered as he wandered down the narrow aisles, the silence punctuated only by the distant sound of dripping water. Suddenly, he heard faint whispers coming from the altar. Intrigued, he approached, feeling an icy chill brush against his neck. The whispers grew clearer, forming disjointed phrases. "Help us, trapped." Mark's heart raced, but his curiosity pushed him forward. He noticed an old, tattered book resting on the altar, its pages yellowed and brittle. Opening the book, Mark discovered a collection of prayers and rituals for releasing trapped souls. As he read aloud, the air thickened, and a low rumble echoed through the church. Shadows danced along the walls, swirling around him. The temperature dropped, and a chilling wind blew, snuffing out his flashlight. Panic set in as he stumbled backward, the whispers intensifying into desperate cries. "Leave this place," they wailed. Just then, the church bells began to toll, reverberating through the air, each chime growing louder and more frantic. The shadows converged, forming dark figures that reached toward him with skeletal hands. Mark turned to flee, but the exit was now shrouded in darkness. He ran through the aisles, trying to escape the suffocating gloom, but the whispers turned into angry screams, echoing in his mind. He could feel the presence of countless souls, trapped and furious. Finally, he spotted a sliver of light breaking through the darkness. He sprinted toward it, heart pounding, as the figures closed in around him. Just as he reached the doorway, a cold hand grasped his shoulder, freezing him in place. He felt a rush of despair wash over him, visions of the lost souls filling his mind. In a final burst of strength, he broke free and stumbled outside, collapsing on the church steps, gasping for breath. The night was still, the church looming ominously behind him. But as he looked back, he realized the door had closed, sealed tight, and the whispers faded into silence. Mark fled the village, but he could never shake the feeling of being watched. In his dreams, the souls haunted him, pleading for release. The ultimate horror was not just the church, but the knowledge that some doors, once opened, can never be closed again.